Nu ska jag lämna över golvet till vår keynote speaker som är en gäst från Riga. Inese Andersone, för att få rätt, som ska berätta lite om vad som händer i Riga när det gäller trafik och mobilitet och innovation. Välkommen Inese!
I will speak English today, but I speak Swedish also. So when we network or we chat, we can talk Swedish. Very big thank you for inviting me here. And actually, it's very interesting that around 21 years ago, I was living in Sweden, and I liked this place, Kulturhuset, because here, as a kind of not a lonely Latvian, but a lonely or being on your own in the big cities, this place was always where I could go in and find a nice place to sit for a coffee and look some books and stuff. So I very much like to be here back. And originally I have studied in Riga, Stockholm School of Economics in Riga. So my main background is business administration and business development. And why I'm speaking Swedish is because my husband is Swedish. And today in the morning I found out that Jesper is his childhood friend. So you see how small is the world. But he's back in Latvia with our dog, and I'm here with my 3 kids, which are at the grandparents. So, and I am very pleasant to see also the changes what has happened in Sweden all these years. Some things has been the same for 20 years and the stable and it works and functions, but some things has changed, and one of the main change I think is this main street here, which we all feel what a difference it is. It was such a busy, it was full with the traffic, never you could call on the phone or speak normally, and now it is a nice place for people just to be, and it's a main so it's, I don't know if is here anyone who is involved in this big job to change the central place of Stockholm, but big congratulations to the city council and to Stockholm visitors and inhabitants. It's a big change. I can see every day I make a picture, okay, because I know in front of my eyes how it was. So, about Riga. I will have a small video. How many of you have been in Riga? Great. So you will see a bit
Welcome
of
to Smart Riga, where
Riga
the roots
from
of our history nurture the growth of our
side.
future. Our city's policies support fair and sustainable growth, leading to new innovations and smarter living. Let's explore the foundations upon which Smart Riga is built. Smart transportation systems make commuting easier and more efficient, while smart traffic management and real-time updates ensure that residents can navigate the city with ease. Our green buildings, solar energy, efficient public lighting, and active mobility reduce our carbon footprint and create a cleaner, greener Riga. As Riga moves forward to become a climate-neutral city, these elements are the key. Online municipal services, digital tools for city planning, and 5G-enabled solutions empower everyone to contribute to shaping the city's future. From free Wi-Fi in smart parks to improved public safety and responsive city services, Smart Riga enriches every part of daily life. Riga's thriving tech startups and business initiatives attract investments, create jobs, and drive innovation. Choose Riga as your testbed for innovation, where the city itself becomes your partner in developing and testing impactful solutions in its pilot territories. Just as a tree thrives with deep roots and plentiful fruit, Smart Riga continues to grow and flourish. Riga, the smart choice for your innovations.
So, what I want you to remember from my presentation and today is that you can always contact me and my colleagues, and we will think how we can cooperate and look for the projects together. So we are very open to new initiatives, because as Riga City Council and all municipalities, they are a bit of conservative, because it's important that city is working together, it holds together, and everything is working. But the new initiatives takes new projects, new people coming in, new ideas, and that's why some type of projects are always very useful. So just to want to say this to you already now. So my role as a city councillor, so I'm elected politician, and as of 4 years, I'm a leading city development council. So it's all type of city planning, mobility planning, all type of new ideas, new projects, plans for a better city. And this spring, in June, we will have re-elections, and now I will see if my work will be has been successful or not, and how we as a municipality will, or as a councillors will perform. Because of course, we are in a position where we have a part. It's a democratic city council. We have a part of conservative people. We are progressive people. We are other parties which are interested in social services. So it's always like kind of jungling about priorities. However, our development documents, of course, state two main. We have 9 priorities, but 2 priorities are to make a city competitive and convenient for environment and friendly mobility. So every time we put a budget on, we need to see how it goes with our priorities, how it takes us further. So it's a 7-year document, which is based on our strategy. And to make a kind of a picture what is a city behind the nice architecture, which we have, a beautiful city. We are around 600,000 people, and what's happening that Riga and we have our metropolitan area similar to Stockholm, and there are many people who are working inside the Riga, but they living around in the suburbs outside Riga borders. And at the moment, we don't have that kind of municipality regulation as in Stockholm. For example, for the traffic, that it's regulated for all Stockholm metropolitan area, we can say. So Riga is separate and other cities are separate outside, and it makes us challenges because, of course, to plan for and implement better mobility, you need to look at the bigger scale. So around 300,000 cars every time come to the city and go back, and all in our area, it's around 1 million citizens. And so we have put our kind of mobility vision where we like with the 5 main pillars, of course, public transport as our backbone, people first in mobility, curate growth. It's more about going together, co-sharing, doing all kind of co-driving and all that type of activity. Attractive to everyday life, what is a public space around, moving for those who go on foot, how the streets look around it, and team up to cooperate with those active involved and active communities. And as easy it sounds, 5 steps, what a piece of cake. Each of it it's a complicated story behind, because of course, and today and your forum is about behavior. It takes us to change the behaviors and how we do it. It's a complicated story, of course. But of course, as a city, we need to plan for with our infrastructure, and also that we curate that type of activity. So, of course, all of you know the mobility hierarchy is the same as applies in Riga, promoting cycling, walking. For us, it's interesting. We don't have metro in Riga, but we have our passenger rail, which is not our public transport, but the state public transport. So now we are working how to unite the rail with our public transport. Two different organizations, two big conservative bodies, which we kind of sounds easy. Why can't you cooperate? Well, step by step, we are going there. And yeah, what also maybe, no, I jumped somewhere else. I wanted to go back. Yeah, sorry. What I wanted to show was that we are planning now on restricting private vehicles in the central part of Riga, and I know Stockholm did it in 2006, and it's also a one way of kind of limiting the car driving. And it was a brave step, you know all what happened, and with several attempts, but now it is a part of everyday life after 15, 18 years. Now we don't have it yet, so we are working on it. And I also, as a politician, I thought, okay, when I was elected 2021, oh, let's do it in 2023. But then I looked at my colleagues, and they were like, no, elections too soon, no. So what I now working, so I have prepared that all my colleagues work on the plans and then implement it at the end of this year as a decision, and then implement in 2027. Let's see how it will work out, how will be the results of elections, of course, how brave will be politicians. So our goal also is how we monitor how we move towards different mobility split. What is interesting, maybe you wonder why is there no so big ambitions on public transport. In 2019, when this kind of document was started, it was before COVID, and then came COVID, and we said to our passengers, it was different situation in Sweden and Latvia, how we worked with the COVID. We said, don't go with the public transport, go with your car. That's the safest place where you can be. And of course, public transport passengers dropped. Many of them jumped to the cars. And if you jump on the car, it's so easy to stay in the car. So we are working back on our numbers. So that's why our ambitious is not as bigger for 2027, but it's a fair share, of course. And of course, we want to have more, better, bigger number of working people cycling. It's compared to Stockholm, it's very flat city, so it's you don't need to go up the hills all the time. Our people are 76% are satisfied with our public transport, but all in all, what we are understanding now is that the city has developed in different places where we don't have a public transport access as good as it needs to be, and now we are working on big public transport plan to understand where are the existing demands, and based on the data put it together and come with the new suggestions for a public transport change. And we, as a backbone for our public transport, what we have also working towards, of course, is greening it. So electrical buses are on place, came in new tram line, longer tram lines. Interesting, what we also work, of course, that the public transport gets faster. So green waves, that there are all the sensors working with the trams together, public transport lanes, of course. What we worked, we understood that we have too complicated ticket system for the public transport, so we lowered the monthly public transport ticket, And with a lower price, we increased the number of passengers and made it more easier, longer one-time ticket and lower price for a ticket. Usually politicians want to increase the prices, so we put it down, and gave a good result. And Jesper asked me to tell about snow tickets, so I thought it's nothing like nothing very big or important, but maybe that's interesting part because we have similar weather conditions as here. So when there is a very huge snow projected, like prognosed, then we say to our car owners in the city, you can go free of charge if you show your driving license. That day you can go free of charge the snowy days, not like the snow which is today. And it makes us also, because you need to clean the streets faster, and if there are everyone on cars and nobody is satisfied, the streets are not clean, and they sit in their car in the traffic jam. So that's their own choice. They can go also on public transport free of charge those days. Usually it happens like maybe 3 times per year. Also on a heavy, maybe on the when there's a heavy wind days or something, but more on the snow. And all type of data digitalization and having a real-time data where the public transport is at what moment. Some projects which we are working now, we are tram line extensions and mobility points. Actually, nothing new for Sweden. I just came through mobility point in Huddinge, jumped from the bus, went to the tram. Similar what we are planning now in 50 railway stations around the Riga. And here we have this resilience funding, recovery resilience funding from EU to be able to invest in green mobility buses, tram lines, and these kind of mobility points, and also cycling lanes. And regarding cycling infrastructure, so this is our network in the future. On a paper, we have put it in, planned it, very nice, thumbs up. So what's happening in real life? In real life, it looks like this because, that you have it on the paper doesn't mean that it's in reality. And but of course, we work on cycling infrastructure somewhere where we can put on with a color, but we also work on the real projects where it is a real construction job done. And so here we can see that it is like some add pieces in a blue color added what we have now achieved, and now we will have the red ones coming out this year. And our similar to your organization, but maybe more activist in the cycling, we have a very active voice from our NGOs, which are demanding the cycling infrastructure tomorrow. But then when you put the color on, they say, well, that's not cycling infrastructure, just the color. Where is the real cycling infrastructure? But that takes, of course, planning, project. Do we own land everywhere we need to go? We need to purchase the land, we need to project, we need to construct. So it takes time, but hopefully at the end we have a good result. But our prime active people, they want it faster. And that's where we all the time need to balance. And shared mobility, we have also similar to Stockholm, different type of scooters. We introduced the speed limit. So in the old city, not old city, but central city, we have a speed limit of, I think, 17 kilometers per hour. And then we have places where they can park or they cannot park. So there are this kind of regulation in place. But of course, scooters is becoming in summer higher up on the accidents, and that's not nice to hear when the people get in the hospital. There's some mobility, shared mobility, micro-mobility data where we can see where there are the main points where we can put the places. Also good for planning public transport because we see where they use shared mobility. Yeah, places from our GIS system where are the parking places and in the central part of city. Safer to school, also another initiative we started because, of course, safety is important. It's very important, but where to start? And I know also in Stockholm, at least, it's safety around the school is already higher than you see the signs. Similar, we started with that we started to look around the schools, a working group just analyzing the parents, how they feel around the mobility, what the needs are, what the schools say, what the kids are saying. There are these 30-kilometer zones introduced around the old town to get it slower traffic, but in the same time, also, if you put the sign, it doesn't mean that the cars are going slower. Jesper showed me hi, I say hi, 5 minutes more. So we started to charge, put the radars on the streets, and now the people are getting angry that they get the notice. Oh, here it was not before 30 kilometers an hour, where is the sign? I didn't see a sign. So again, coming closer to the elections, politicians are thinking, oh, maybe we don't need to put so much of radars outside there. Just so for you to know. EV charging, also we analyze where is the demand for the future. We need 10,000 stations by 2035. And we now are lending out our land for setting up the EV charging stations. What the EV benefits now are that you can use public transport lines and go free parking. So it's very nice. But again, other people say, why are those electrical cars standing here for hours, for weeks? And not paying. So we will need to change something there as well. Mobility innovations. Of course, that's something which is not business as usual, because what you heard before, it's like a business as usual. And when I started, I wanted to introduce us also as a city being open to new innovations and be a platform for companies to come and test a new solution. So EIT Urban Mobility was a network we joined as a Riga, and I know some members are here, and Anders was also among you from EIT Urban Mobility, but then other organizations. So we have put 3 places in the city where we promote, where we want companies and startups and universities to test their new items. And these 2 green down there are the university area, and that up there is a more technological area. And so it can be in a smart city area for any different type of wheels, but of course mobility is one where we focus the most. And then just showing some small projects or projects we have been working with. And this is a project called Green Dash. It's started actually very funny. They just guys came to hackathon, you know, like student hackathon, and it was also co-financed by Riga, and I think of EIT Urban Mobility as well. And they came with ideas that it could be some kind of logistic tool for last mile logistics. And what we discussed with them is that I knew how the Riga City Council is cleaning the streets and parks, and that there are always people who are doing the work. And I said, well, maybe we can apply that to our city work. And so the guys jumped on this idea and went from one to another competitions, getting some grants, now there and back. And now actually it's tested in Riga city, the product after 2 years around. And also they are testing, I think, they wanted to test in Denmark and in Estonia. The problem is that now I need to work on a regulation, because this type of four-wheel stuff is not regulated in the Latvia. So it's a new stuff, and our authority saying, no, this cannot be on the street. So now we are testing it under some kind of strange number, but for us to be able to purchase it and for people to be used, we need to change the regulation. And happily, I'm a part of the party, which is also in the government, so I'm asking my colleagues to change the regulation. It's in a small country as Latvia, it's possible. 5G for Lives is another project. We attracted CEF financing, which is CEF financing, around 2 million euros financing, 2 to 5, but 2 for Riga and Turin also involved. And there is autonomous drones for our police guys who out of sight coverage, and also that it is operated on autonomous base, so nobody needs to drive the drone. It's doing its own job. And where we find the application in need is in the bigger spaces for a water coverage, so they see that people is not kind of swimming too far or far away, or on icy weather they go and do the under ice fishing, and also sometimes they are kind of stuck on the ice. So the drone will be monitoring the areas around the beach and around the bigger lake, and then we install the 5G infrastructure. And it is I guess it was 90% or 80% financed by EU funding, because it's a new innovative solution. And usually as a city, we wouldn't find a budget for this kind of nice things to play around, but as a EU funding came there for innovation solutions, we got it. Another where we look, here I think we also partner with Stockholm and Helsinki to plan city for a drone where they can land, where is the best drone corridors, rivers, or where are the bigger needs, health, for example, health institutions, hospitals, there where would be a highest need for the drones in the future, so that the kind of blood is not stuck in the traffic jam, but flying somewhere. But of course, it's before that, we need also to see in this bigger picture. So that's another project we are doing. Coding the curves is smart parking zones, where you can book your parking more on the private spaces at the moment. Also, together with EIT Urban Mobility, we are doing it. And then we have our geo data infrastructure. So it is a portal where we put all our digital data of the city, from 3D to pollution, of course, and to solar panels, where you can put in the houses and where you get a better result from the sun, where is the sunny side of the house. So the inhabitants can go in and check it, but also we will add the mobility data on it. We're working on the bigger mobility data ecosystem, where to put all in big database of. Then afterwards we can apply the intelligent transport systems, artificial intelligence, and all other nice things out there, ready to use for better management of the city. But if you don't have this basic infrastructure of data, then it's very complicated to apply new other technology and systems. Low emission zone, we're working on it to limit the most polluted cars. Let's see how it will work out. We'll be happy to share our experience in next years. And but also we have created this municipality internal innovation fund. So I want our colleagues to come up with new ideas and have a fund where they can get it not from their budget, but apply. And so first it was less interested, but every year we see the growing interest, and we put some kind of guidelines, what priorities we want to have safety, AI-driven process optimization, introduction of artificial intelligence, mobility topics, and so they come in and apply and implement. And of course, it's a smaller scale pilot project, but it makes this innovative mindset of our colleagues. Because it's not enough as a politician, you need to have all organizations on board on doing it. And just showing that we have some growth in the Smart City Index, so I hope that all those who monitor us out there and compare see that we also doing great stuff. So welcome to Latvia, welcome to Riga, and here I am open for your questions and comments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Inese. Very interesting to hear. I think I'm going to open up for some questions from the audience first. So any questions from the audience? I need to run out with this. Carlos?
Thank you for a very interesting presentation. And I heard about CEF, Connecting Europe Facility. I've been working with that quite a lot, especially with drones. So my question is related to drones. I'm thinking about the lower airspace, 2,900 meters. Are you looking into that also? Not only in terms of drones, but other types of vehicles and, well, developments. I'm thinking in terms of future-proofing the city, you could say. What's going to happen in the future? So basically, the question is, are you looking into, apart from drones, the airspace also?
At the moment, no. At the moment, no, to be honest. Now we start with drones, so it's already something, you know, like it is a part of everyday life, but it's not like business as usual. They are not like flying drones logistic-wise in the city yet. So I think we need to do step by step, but it could be something to look into the future, definitely. We have a small airport where we are discussing what we can do, which is not a big airport, Riga City Airport, but a smaller, which is not airport, but a landing line for the small air vehicles. So it can be there is always this kind of CEF projects, good to look into that and team up, and then you can get somewhere further.
Any more questions? One here. Here you go.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I have one question regarding the one map you show, but I cannot catch up exactly that plan. It is a plan for the micromobility, or it's a kind of the planning for the traffic?
You mean with the bubbles?
Yes, bubbles, and beside you said that a beautiful map, but I didn't understand, this is a micromobility plan or a strategy plan?
You mean with the lines? It is our plan for the cycling lanes in Riga. So we have put a plan for 2030, how the cycling infrastructure should be. And now every year we are doing some works ahead. So on the left side, it was a cycling planning of Riga.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, like, it looks a beautiful cycling lanes, but just on the paper, because in the reality, it's a bit different.
And do you have any action plan between the reality and plan?
Yeah, so that is it's more, this cycling plan is also as an action plan. So then from that we take out our cycling team is taking out the projects where they're working on some research or already doing the project phase or construction phase. So, but that's based on that bigger document.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we don't have any more time for questions from the audience. I have one question. I had several, but I have time for one. You said that you had ambition to increase the use of public transport or go back a little bit above what you had before, and then you also said you're lowering the ticket costs.
Yes.
So how do you balance that?
Yeah, but that was one way of getting people back on the tram, on the public transport, because so it's more accessible, and so we lowered the ticket price to people come back on the public transport, and made it that with this monthly ticket you could. Before that, it was more complicated system. So there were like several monthly tickets. The prices were higher, so we lower it. Enable to them to jump back on the public transport.
So
and it worked.
Yeah.
Now we're getting back numbers, and it's now we need to do the next jump.
Good to hear, because I mean, in Sweden we have a little bit another situation. We have we had problems coming back after COVID with public transport in some of the regions, and not all of the regions. But then also we have raised the costs for public transport ticketing at the same time. So it's
because the problem is that, and we have the same financial situation, because if you have a lower number of passengers, of course, you need to subsidize the public transport in a higher way. And we need to subsidize our public transport as well. But with this lowering of the ticket, we actually got more income. So it was, we got like, so it worked in a positive way. More passengers and more income with a lower ticket.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is work.
We'll give them a hint to talk to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jesper, and thank you to you. And I will be around here some hours more, and so happy to discuss some cooperation.